Trevor Lawrence, CJ Stroud, Jags, Texans. We're going to see this for many years to come. Trevor Lawrence, he doesn't get enough credit, in my opinion, for elevating these guys.
CJ Stroud has shown as a rookie is better than anything that Trevor Lawrence has shown in the NFL.
Who would you rather be for the next 3 years? Would you rather be the Jags? Would you rather be the Texans?
Look at the release.
There's your separation.
Great route.
Stutter and go. Gets by clean.
That is unbelievable.
May be the greatest catch I've ever seen.
We saw a great game, man, between the Jags and the Texans. Really fun game, back and forth battle. Both quarterbacks came up big. I thought both quarterbacks played great football. Trevor Lawrence, CJ Stroud, Jags, Texans. We're going to see this for many years to come. I'll just throw it out here for you, though. Who would you rather be for the next 3 years? Would you rather be the Jags? Would you rather be the Texans?
This is a really hard question because I'm a fan of both these quarterbacks. I like both of the infrastructures of these teams too. I have a lot of faith in both head coaches, DeMeco Ryans and Doug Peterson. I think they're both net positives for their teams. You can definitely nitpick some of the things that both coaching staffs have done. We've certainly done that about the Jags offense with Press Taylor as the offensive coordinator this season. And you can do that on the Texans side too. They run the ball a lot on first down. I probably would have left the game in CJ Stroud's hands and on 4th and 12 and not kick that field goal. So you can nitpick these coaching staffs, but I think by and large, like you're on crack if you don't think that DeMeco Ryans has been a huge part of the reason why the Texans have been this good this year. I also think from a front office perspective, I think both front offices have done goofy things. The Nick Caserio-led Texans and the Jacksonville-led Trent Baalke-led Jaguars for sure. But I still think I probably like the work Caserio has done in the long term than what some of the funny things that Trent Baalke has done. I don't know about you. I think I go Texans that I'd want to be them over the next 3 years more than the Jags, just because one, you're still going to have almost all cheap years there with CJ Stroud over the next three. Trevor Lawrence is probably going to be asking for, Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow money at the end of this year. Because that bill's come due for him. I also think I like Trevor Lawrence, but I think what CJ Stroud has shown as a rookie is better than anything that Trevor Lawrence has shown in the NFL, which goes to show you how difficult quarterback evaluation it can be. Here's a good question for you.
Yeah.
The top two receivers on both teams, Tank Dell, Nico Collins, Calvin Ridley, Christian Kirk. All of those guys together, what's the rank of those players 1 to 4?
Yeah, no, you're right. And I would definitely say that, you want to rank those 4 guys. I might actually go Nico Collins 1, Christian Kirk 2, Calvin.
Yeah, I don't know, buddy.
Calvin Ridley 3. Okay, Tank Dell 3, Calvin Ridley 4. And I almost went Calvin Ridley 3 just out of veteran deference. You know what I'm saying? But I said it's awfully hard to say that that he's been better than Tank Dell this year.
I think if we're having this conversation, let's put it this way: if we're having this conversation 365 days from now, I think it's Nico, Tank Dell in some order. Those guys are so close. I honestly don't want to get into the but who is better? Because I hate the you have to like one receiver. No. I like both these receivers, and you can get the hell off my lawn. Okay. So, but I think if 365 days from now, we're talking. It's Nico, it's Tank Dell in some order. I think it's Calvin Ridley, and then I think it's Christian Kirk, just because Ridley can give you more dynamism outside and stuff like that.
For sure.
But either way, we're putting a Texan in the top. It's not a clear-cut answer there.
No.
And Tank Dell has room to grow. Nico Collins, I still think, has room to grow. I think that Ridley and Kirk are probably in their prime, or their best days may be behind this time next year. We might have already seen the best of these guys in the NFL.
Agreed.
I still think there are ceilings that have yet to be reached for these two receivers. So, and by the way, Ridley's not a lock to be on this roster next year.
Can I just say this, Matt? I've been in this game long enough. You have been in this game long enough to know that when a quarterback or an offense catches the league by storm, A lot of times, man, the teams that they're facing are not ready for him. There's just not a lot of tape. There's not a lot of tendencies put on tape yet. So what does this look like? And I'm not saying that this is true of CJ Stroud or the Texans. I'm just saying I've been at this long enough to know that unless CJ Stroud is that dude, he is the baddest man in a Texans. Unless he's that guy, the league is going to catch up to him just a little bit, right? They're going to figure out some tendencies, things that he likes to do, and take those away. Does he have it in him to offer up a counterpunch? Right now, 12 weeks into his rookie campaign, it's been so impressive. But like I said, man, we've seen a lot of quarterbacks that start off hot and then fade because of various different things. And a lot of it is that defensive coordinators are pretty smart.
I talked with Chris Harris this morning on his show, just like, when are teams going to figure out a counterpunch to Tank Dell? Are they going to figure out a counterpunch to Tank Dell? Because this is a guy who hasn't faced a lot of press coverage so far, and we know he's a small player. The 1 week that he had to play against a lot of press was mostly that Bengals game because Nico Collins didn't play, and he was facing that press coverage at the line of scrimmage because he played the X and Noah Brown did not, and Robert Woods obviously was not going to be an X in that game. So. And that wasn't one of his best performances. I mean, he was fine, but he went 6 for 14 in terms of catches to targets. And there was a lot of rough moments at the catch point, rough moments in physical contact. So yeah, there's definitely an element of, is the league going to catch up to Tank Dell, to CJ Stroud, to all of these guys. Yeah. But just from what I'm seeing, I do think CJ Stroud is that guy. I would say too, I'm not saying that I don't want to be the Jags for the next 3 years.
Right.
I think they're pretty well set up. Like I said, Lawrence is good. I would be totally comfortable giving him that quarterback money. He was great. I mean, great on Sunday. His one interception probably was one of the many missed calls by the officials in that game. So in terms of it should have been a holding on Evan Ingram there. He was great. He was maybe 1 or 2 throws you could nitpick. I think Lawrence is still a really quality quarterback. He probably is close to that Justin Herbert tier if he's not in that Justin Herbert tier already. I know a lot of other people think he already is. So there's a lot of good there too. I think they can add to that receiver room in the offseason. Say goodbye to Zay Jones, maybe get a true X receiver there so that you can maybe bring back Ridley. Lot of potential there for sure.
Trevor Lawrence, he doesn't get enough credit, in my opinion, for elevating these guys. Now, we've been throwing roses at CJ Stroud for elevating the play of Nico Collins and Tank Dell, which he absolutely has done. Noah Brown, obviously. Who is Noah Brown? Okay, CJ Stroud's elevating this guy to the point where we're taking notice of Noah Brown, for God's sakes, okay? I'm just saying, Trevor Lawrence, in my opinion, has done the same damn thing in Jacksonville, and he doesn't get credit for it. It's almost as if people forgot that Evan Ingram was a complete reclamation project, that he was an absolute nothing burger. That Zay Jones was an absolute nothing. I get it. He had a good year in Oakland, and that's why he got the contract that he got. Yeah, sort of. Listen, we like Christian Kirk. Our guy Matt Harmon loves Christian Kirk more than most other people, right? It's fine. But again, not even Matt, the with the rose-colored glasses on, is not going to say Christian Kirk's a true one. So who are we talking about here, right? We're talking about Calvin Ridley coming off of 18 months of not playing football. Trevor Lawrence has absolutely elevated this offense, and I think he's done a great job, and we don't give him enough credit for it. It's almost, and I just remember this post, man, from the preseason of this, I forgot who it was, but somebody had posted that trio of Calvin Ridley, Zay Jones, Christian Kirk, and Evan Ingram, and saying oh, look at the pass catchers that Trevor Lawrence has. I'm like, are we missing something here, Doug? What are we talking about? This is not a great group of pass catchers. They're great. They're good because Trevor Lawrence has elevated their play.